Morning, all. Already to work. Now, quick. And we need music. Kind of like future pop. Anyway. Okay. Alrighty. So, had this idea that we could make a whole bunch of poses for this. So we're going to do that. You gotta make sure to unclick general, otherwise it'll replace. Remember where it was placed in space too, and we don't want that. But here's what can happen now. I do this, I do this. You see, now we've got a pose preset. Moreover, here's where things get cool. Right, because it's nothing. Now, we can do a turn this way, right? So we take the body and we lean it all the way over. We'll take the steering wheel and turn the wheel all the way here. Which way do I want to turn it? This way. And we turn this tire this way. And we turn this way. Then we can take this and we go back to its core here. And we say pose preset. And we say hard left turn. Right? And I'm putting 01 in here just so I can remember where things are, right? And again, remember to unclick general file. And then you can take this guy and lean him the other way. Right? And go this way. And that guy go that way. Take the steering wheel and go the other direction. I wasn't thinking about this being a figure. It's a person as far as Daz is concerned. So now I can save poses just like any other person with Daz. So now we take this guy and we say pose preset. So hard right. One. Right. And now we can make him do this or make him do this. Look at that. We can make him accelerate. We can make him hit his brakes. Check it. And now we can do things like come up here. I'm going to take his pitch, and it's pitched forward, and half of this would be 3. Right, so 6 is woo! 6 is fullback. So this is a medium braking, right? And we will save that. Take a pose preset and say medium braking for 1. And once again, unclick general. And then we will do half of this and do -1, which is then light braking, right? Again, make sure the general is not clicked. Right, and we'll do the same thing here. We'll do a 1, right, and then call that light accelerating. You're like, what are you doing? Well, watch. This is going to be fascinating if this works exactly like I think it will. I think it might. So 10 is all the way back. So really, half of that accelerating is 5. And tracked again. I lost 10 minutes of work time this morning for this. Or space cadettiness. All right. And this is medium. Accelerating. A 1. All right. And then we split this in half, 2.5. And then we go on ahead and do colors preset. Right. We've already got light accelerating, so I'm going to go on ahead and replace it because I really want it to be half of. Okay. And here's why you do this way. So 3 seconds. Okay. Now I will illustrate. We need to do neutral, don't we? So neutral then is pose preset. You go bang, 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 because that'll put it at the top. Neutral. And then spell it wrong. Neutral. And 0, 0, neutral. And that gives me everything is in base mode, right? So neutral. Neutral puts it right at the front. Because I put 3 bangs in front of it, it's going to be up on the front. Okay? So just for discussion topics, let's just go on ahead and add the ground. Okay, this is just so that we have a road to show dynamics on. We actually need to fix this road. It's not the right size, all kinds of stuff. So, but that's all right. We're just trying to illustrate a point here. Because if this works, then you will see exactly what I'm talking about. All right. Now, all we need for the car on this particular animation is the X translate, or the Z translate. So it's going to be here, right? We're going to start him at that point. We're going to have him stop. It's going to be pretty easy. So we go down to the animation here, and we're going to put the total range to be 3 seconds, 4 seconds. So 1 second to stop, and then 3 seconds to rock back, and then 1 second. So 5 seconds, give it 6 seconds, right? $180 frames, right? Double check our math. 180 frames. So we do the quick math there. 180. Now we have your total. I'm going to do the total over here. 180. Okay. So by 30 frames, we move him forward until he comes up to here, right? And then we're going to set hard braking, right? Now, if I'm correct, and I'm always correct, if I'm correct, this will start doing, right? Look at that. So now we've got, which is funny, and I like it, and it works good. But here's where the trick is cool. Watch this. Right? Then we just say medium braking. We go to here. We do medium accelerating. See what I'm doing? See the funny stuff? Now, if you play it, you go, oh man, he needs to do something but it shocks. All right. Oh, that's good. Okay, that was fun. Oh man, that was good. All right. I'm easily entertained. Oh god, that was good. Okay. We're gonna take this. Actually, I think 10 seconds of frame is even funnier. Right? Boing. Boing. Okay. Oh man, okay. I am probably more easily entertained than I really ever should be. Moving that to neutral. Now we got boing. I'm losing connection, guys. Watching the animation real quick. All right. So in 18 minutes, we've gone from doing this to doing that, right? It's no big deal, right? So, moreover, we can give him much more comedic operation now. If we have him wait to, let's do 210, but it's funny, right? So we have him come to a complete stop here. And then I'm going to have and we're going to have him go from here to here. Nope, that's not what we want. We need to pin in here, right? So we need to make sure so that's what we're going to do. We're going to pin it right here. There we go. So now he comes to a stop, bounces, and then we have a pin, right? So we're going to have him accelerate at this point in time, because this will be funny, around this curve. So he's here, he's here, The other thing we're going to need to make sure we do is come back here and pin the rotation, because it's actually why rotate? Why rotate? Why not rotate, huh? Okay. I'm going to pin that one too. And just make sure it's linear, just in case it has any kind of funny ideas. I don't want it to have funny ideas. And we need to make this, whoa, so somebody didn't pin that that Y rotate either. Or that Y translate needs to be pinned. See how it's creeping? Because it's prepping to do this, right? I don't want it to do that. So I'm going to go halfway through the turn, place it here, right? Halfway through the turn, we do this, 45. Right, and then all the way through to 90. Right? Look at that. Now, wouldn't it be funny if it leaned to the right? Right? So it's making a hard left. Let's do that. Right? We're going to have to reset the hull. But we also need to key everything in this body so it'll stop being a pest. I'm gonna fix that Y rotate or that Y translate here. It's still creeping around. Oh, that's the rotation. Really wish I could set the default for everything to be linear, because I'm just making comedy, so I don't need these. See, it's still creeping. And it's creeping because everything has ease. Ease is a function that's actually very aggravating whenever you're trying to do stuff. Okay, we're having some real problems here with this. I can't click on the keyframes, which is not cool. it goes. "Grrr." We're still creeping sideways. Right, I'm not sure why I'm getting this side creep here, and I really am aggravated about it because, of course, that's part of the problem is that this Y translate is not staying level. Y translate minus 234.14. Same or X translate 25.9 Y. $25.95. It is actually the X translate, which has been instructed not to do anything. So 225. Copy. There. That'll fix that. That'll fix your little red wagon. It's not fixing your little red wagon. Why is it not? Stop being a jerk. $220.07. 220.07. There we go. Yeah. Hey, you, how you doing? How you doing? There we go. We need a morning scritch from George. Right. You really, really, really want scritches. The only problem with this, George, is I'm not getting any work done because of your scritchiness, your scritchy goodness. Just saying. Yeah, I know that this is you saying that this is a me problem, but still. Okay, but I've got a problem with the fact that you are doing this. I'm just saying. All right, let's take a look. Right, he's taking off pretty good there. We've still got some wiggle. I think the big thing we need to remember is you can't attack it. No matter what, George, you just can't attack it. It's not going to make any difference. There we go. So we've got it. I mean, it's not perfect. We're going to have to work on this. But, I mean, that was 30 minutes, and we've got a pretty reasonable animation. We've got to think about some things going on here. Like, we've got some good control over him. We need to do some little bits of work on some of this, but there's some good high illustration, and the comedic value behind it is good for a couple of reasons. One, it illustrates a good stop, right? When is the vehicle stopped? Right there, obviously, because the car rocks all over the place, right? So, as cute as it is, it has value and points that I'm trying to kind of get at. Are you noticing all the controls doing things? Oh, good. Well, I'm glad you're working hard. So am I. Look, we've got the car coming to a complete ridiculous stop, bouncing all over the place, and then ridiculously leaning around the corner in a very entertaining way. It took about 30 minutes to do this animation, so not hard at all. And it'll go faster the more I do this, but I realized I could make poses, and Daz Studios seemed to want to look at it as if it's a person, and I never thought about that until last night. I had this sudden realization after I went to bed. I was like, well, I could just save pose presets of it at hard braking and at hard accelerating, and I can then have it leaning to the right and leaning to the left, and then all I have to do is position the vehicle in the right spot and then set all the different animations, and we were fine. I think we need to use neutral to pin it, though. But it looks just fine. I mean, we'll redo it. You can attack the monitor, but it won't help. You're attacking the monitor. This is you attacking the monitor. No matter what, it won't help you to attack the monitor. Nothing will change. Nothing will change. You can get to it. I know you're watching all the controls here do all their things. And you're a fool. You're the weirdest little cat. Okay, so what we've noticed and what we've learned is that the rock is beautiful at 10 frames. Right? The rocking back and forth. Oh, I guess the rock is beautiful all the time. At least he would do that. Okay. The test is successful, ladies and gentlemen. We have tested all of the things we wish to test here. Now we're going to hit stop. We're not going to save any of this because we don't need to, because we now know what all the math is, right? So we're going to do new. Don't save that. We're going to go here, add a DS campaign. There's a couple things I want to add to this, right? Under the poses directory, we're going to center ourselves here for our dude. And we're going to do some people poses. We don't need this right now, so we're going to bring that there. We're going to say all right, we're going to do that, and we're going to do this. Totally leaning into that. Generic person. We don't need a general memory here, memorized, so we double check to make sure all that's there. All right. There we go. We'll save this. right? And we'll have him a hard stop. And we will do the same thing. Little details sometimes make all the difference. Temperatures are to fall dramatically Saturday, huh? All right. Now we've got hard braking, medium braking. We don't have neutral. There we go. So now we've got hard accelerating, hard braking, hard leans, medium accelerating, medium braking, and neutral. So that's giving us a lot of positions for our dude to be in too, but it also means that he can now rock back and forth whenever we get to this stuff, which will help. All right, I think we're ready to start an animation. Actual, legitimate, oh my God, you're kidding me animation. So we'll bring up the 3 blocks. We don't need to do that yet. No. Right? And what we've got with 3 blocks that we did last night, those of you that are not familiar with it, is we have an intersection that shows what we call the hierarchy of stops, right? From here, if you looked at it from the top view, we can now see we have cars A, B, C, and D, which now apparently don't go the directions we want them to. Now that I know that, I'll do this a different way. Right, we're going to go back here for the front of this. And actually, let's go ahead and do the things where car A is the most reasonably viable car. And we'll put car C and put you here. Oh. Somebody moved just the suspension of the car. Plus, that's why I'm not allowed to touch those things. We'll take car D and move him over here. Nope. So we've moved car D to this position on the stop, and we'll move car A to its proper position here. All right. There we go. All right, let's start with the hierarchy of stops. This is one of the ones that is so hard for kids to get. And it really is. And I get it. And I understand that. And it's difficult. It's really hard to understand this. So this is one where I'm really pleased to be able to do this. So we'll start with, this one is the hierarchy of stops. We'll call this save as, we'll call this save as scene. Well, actually, first, let's call this save as scene 3 blocks because they're all in the right spot now. And we'll replace that. Yeah, there we go. Yeah. Okay, then we'll call it save as scene, and we'll call it 3 blocks, and then we'll do dash hierarchy of stops. Okay. There we go. Now let's get everybody where they belong. No sidewalk, no crosswalk. That needs to start here. Work at -1. Okay. For animation purposes, we're going to do the imaginary crosswalk as well. Will be at -1. Because this isn't the point here, of course, is where do these guys stop when there's no information to tell them where to stop, right? In fact, you know what I could do? If I were to take this guy, maybe 0.5, right? That makes him just high enough to do this, and rotate him on the green. Nope, that's not it. Rotate him on the blue. No, that's not it either. Rotate him on the like so, about 5 degrees. You know what happens then? If you do this, if we do this right, we do y translate -1 fork, minus a lot apparently, minus 5 fork. How high up are you? Let's do -1, and then there. Then what you do is you can bring to 30 here, and we do 1, right? And what happens is it draws a line. See? And that allows you to show an illustration point, the line being formed to show where you're supposed to be. Right? Because I'm really brilliant, I'm just saying. And we're going to take total and say 0, right? Maybe 1. And that'll neutralize all of my animations so they don't exist anymore. And let's think out the big plan on the animation. Okay, so we're gonna bring car A in, stop, right? And once we do, we'll hold 2, 3, 4. We don't need to hold a lot because the scene will freeze. So, I mean, like, we can always just extend that frame out forever. Then we'll bring car B in. So maybe 1 second hold, and then car B comes in. I think we'll go 6 seconds for each. And then at 8 seconds, this is where having a notebook right here would be very useful because you can just write all this crap down. Get me every can. That's what they're for. Get a pen. We'll get ourselves a normal. Just spiral notebook. Use for this right here. Gets me now a normal spiral notebook. I don't believe in normal spiral notebooks. So what I do is I'm going to give myself a normal piece. Here's a normal piece of paper. So let's think our animation out. Each scene is going to have a breaking phase, and we think about it 1, 2, 3. So that's 3 seconds, right? Then we want it to rock back and forth for a second because it's cute. And it's 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. So it's actually 2 seconds of rocking. And then pause. 1 second. So the total here is going to be 6 seconds per car. Okay? So with the exception of the fact that it's 6 seconds for the full cycle. So A car has 6 seconds. But B car also gets 6 seconds because there's nothing strange going on there. However, C car needs an illustration of what's going on. So there's a pause, so 1 second pause. To point at road. And then so C car is going to have 9 seconds because it needs 1 second pause so we can point at the road and say, look here, there's no crosswalk. Then 2 seconds for the imaginary crosswalk to go beep, 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 right? 3 beeps. Then 6 seconds for the roll and sequence, the entire sequence of animation that we just had. Okay? No problem. And then D is probably going to be the same way. For thinking it through. It's 10:02, guys. Just kind of keeping an eye on the time. Eye on the timer. It's the thrill of the night. I have issues. Okay. And then just do the same thing. 2 seconds to draw line, and then 6 seconds. Okay, so this is 12 seconds. 6 seconds. And this is 12 seconds. Right. This is pretty simple math, but I always double check it because I know how this goes with me. So we're at 12. I'm going to bring this to 6, 7, 8, 9. So it's 9 seconds. So by the end of C, we're going to be at 21 seconds. And, okay? Plus 9 more. This is a 30-second animation. Okay? That puts us at 30. Exactly. Which is kind of nice. Kind of convenient. And 30 times 30 is 900 frames. So we want to change my color on my pencil, otherwise, or my pen, or I'll never know this. Because everything on the timeline here is going to be in frames. Right? So 6 times 30 means that we're at 180 here. Clear. 12 times 30 equals 860. Right, clear. 12 or clear 24 or 21 clear. 21 times 30 puts us at 630. Right there. And then just to double check, 30 times 30 is at 900. All right. So now what I've done is I've broken down my animation. You cannot read this, but I never mind. I broke it down my animation. Now we know all of the pieces that are going to go into this. A little bit of planning goes a long way in this. So now let's get to the fact that the range is going to be 900. And so now we've added its 30 seconds of animation here. Okay. So now we've got like things like, well, that animation should not be there, but that's all right. That's okay. What do I know, right? Should we neutralize that animation when we had the chance? We should have neutralized it while we had the chance. And we didn't. Remove that keyframe. Okay. So now we're at start. Okay. Start is not a problem. We'll start with a car. And the thing we're going to do with a car is this. We're going to actually get a perspective view. Pull back all the way, and we're going to take you, and we're just going to make that back. We're going to take a car now. We're going to move him off the map, way off the map. Okay. We're going to do the same thing with B car. Move him way off the map. C car. Way off the map, like so. And D car. That's the wrong way. These coming from a long way, man. We got to give him props, you know? And here are the things that we know, right? We're going to go on ahead. We're going to set this whole scene, and I'm going to do all of this as much as I possibly can here. And I'm going to select everything. And we're going to set the interpolation. Oh, man. We have to do it individually? Ugh, that's going to suck. Okay. There we go. Well, we'll get to it when we get to it, I guess. And I set your interpol. No. That's going to suck a lot. Because it's going to default to TCB on all of these. Everything's going to default to easing, so everything moves weird. And I need these cars to be pretty static. Okay. So we start with car A, right? car A is pretty straightforward. And what we're going to do is 3 seconds to get in, 30, 60, 90. So we're going to go to the 90th frame right here. Okay. And this is what we're going to do. We're going to take and move him in to the stop line. Right there. Make sure we've got this correct from the overhead view. Move him to the stop line. Right there. And in this instance, I don't mind if there's some interpolation on this. These just gotta stop. But what we're going to do now is what we just came up with, this whole plan. So at 90, the person is hard. Damn it. That's what I was afraid of. I decided to move everything. We're going to do hard braking, right? And 90. And then we just go to 100. I'm going to do medium acceleration. I'm going to do medium braking. The reason the car keeps moving is and all we've done is just continue going up because it's funny. Damn it. Right. Neutral. Right? And what we should get out of this is that same thing. Boing, boing. Right? And that's perfect. Comes in, and goes boing, boing. Cute. Right? Does the thing, we're good. Not a problem at all. All right. Now this gives us 1 second, right? Because we're now at 180. $180 now is where the green car moves in. No problem. Not an issue. Car green. Now the first thing we need to do is pin him. Right? This is where we add general properties, transform, translation. And the thing we're going to want to do is X translate. So we're going to pin the X translate. That means we're going to add right there that. This pins it. And so anything that happens from this point forward is linear. I don't want him to move at all at this point in time. I don't want him getting involved. I don't want him messing with anything, right? So he rolls in 6 seconds from here, right? 30, 60, 90, so 80, 180. 290 equals 270. So he rolls in at 270. That's where we're going to put it. We're going to put the marker 270, right? And then we're going to look at the overhead camera. We're just going to roll him in. That's not the right one. It's X translate, guys. X. Right? He's going to come to a stop at the crosswalk to show we're supposed to come to a stop at the crosswalk. Isn't that nice? Right? And if all works well, he doesn't move until he gets up there to there. Perfect, right? Then 270, he makes the hard braking because that's funny, right? So now he's hard braking. And we go and do the same thing. 280 puts him at medium accelerating, right? 290 puts him at medium braking. 300 puts him at light accelerating. 310 puts him at light braking, and then 320 puts him at neutral. Okay. So now what's happened is A comes in, stops, then B comes in and stops, right? So if we were to look at this from the perspective view, we can now bring in a little closer. All right, we'll bring this in a little closer so you can kind of see what's going on from a 3D perspective, right? And we play this animation now. We've got A comes in, boing, 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 because that's cute. Then B comes in, boing, boing, boing. And now we've got A and B going and doing their stop. Now C requires us to do something else now. That's fine, dude. I appreciate that you're just hanging with me. You hang with me as you need to. So we've got to go to the imaginary crosswalk now because the next piece of this starts at 360. So we'll go back to 360, right? And that puts us here. At 360, the imaginary crosswalk makes a translation change. But in this instance, it's a Y translate because I'm going to have it come up. Right? But we're going to give 1 second pause for illustration. So we got to go through 30 seconds or 30 frames. So it's not 360 it starts at, it's going to be at 390. Right? So now we're at 390. And we're going to take this Y translate and the same thing we just did. We're going to take you, make sure you're linear, and then we're going to pin it by putting in a keyframe right here that pins the crosswalk piece so that it does not move or try to ease between the animation pieces. Because it's a pain in the butt. So in 2 seconds, it beeps 3 times. 2 seconds is 90. So 90 divided by 3 means that it's, of course, no, 2 seconds is 60. 60. What? That's so easy. So it's every 20 seconds. It's every 20 frames. So I'm going to have it go up for 10 frames, down for 10 frames, up for 10 frames, down for 10 frames, up for 10 frames, down for 10 frames, up. Okay? So that's what we're going to do. And we're going to make the TCB on this absolute linear. So what we do here, this is where it's kind of tricky. Be 391, and that puts us one frame in. And I'm going to do Y translate 1. And it's in, right? And make sure that this guy is, we're actually going to have to zoom in on this at some point here, because this is going to be so detailed that I'm not going to be able to do it easily. That's okay. As long as he stays there we go, linear. Right, and let's see. What we can do at this point, we won't be able to do this yet, but we'll go to 400. 400 is here, right? And we'll add a key and set it for linear. And then we'll go to 401. And then we'll do the same thing. -1, right? We'll grab that key. We say linear, right? And now what it's doing is beep. See, it did beep, beep. Right? Now we can grab this entire animation here and say copy keys. Right? So we're now at 400, so we'll go to 410. And we say paste. Right? Now it goes beep, beep. Check me. Huh? Beep, beep. And we're going to do one more, because that one comes out at 420. So we're going to go to 430 and paste again. Right? Beep, beep, beep. Beep, beep, beep. And that illustrates the point. Now I want it to permanently be up, so we're going to copy, and here at 450, I'm going to go ahead and paste it so that it's permanently up. Beep, right? So it goes beep, 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 and then stays on, because at this point of the animation, we roll in 360 plus 30 plus 30 plus 30 is at 450. So 450 is exactly where it should be rolling, where we should roll in our 3 seconds. 420. You're funny. All right. So let's go ahead and save this, because this is a complicated freaking animation, and I would hate to lose it after all of this. We've done so much work on this one. Okay, so beep, 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 and then we bring it up and alive for the roll in, where we're going to start with car C. Okay, so now car C, we don't need to worry about imaginary crosswalk anymore, because that's where it's going to hold. We're going to hold it right there. So let's start car C's arrival. Kind of don't mind putting it back here a little bit. Right. Now, car C, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to pin car C down. In this case, his key here is Z translates. So I'm going to take that. We're going to create a key, which we've now pinned, and he's pinned in. I'm going to call that linear. Call that linear. And this holds him so that he won't roll, because we don't want him to roll before we get to the intersection, right? So then we go beep. And he gets 3 seconds in, So 450 plus 90 seconds puts me at 540. So we move him up to 540, right? We'll just go ahead and just go to the overhead camera because that gives me the best view of what's going on. That's not. Let's first use the perspective camera to place him as close as possible. And then we will go to the overhead camera. Make sure he's exactly where we want him. Right? And that then gives us the exact motion we want. He comes in then to stop. Right? And then we do the same thing we did before because it's so funny, right? I like hard braking. And then we give plus 10 at 540 is 550, right? And at 550, we have medium accelerating. And then 560 becomes medium braking. And then 570 becomes light accelerating because it's funny. And then 580 becomes light accelerating or light braking. And then at 590 becomes neutral. Like that. So now he does the same bouncing that everybody does, right? So if we were to look at this now from perspective view and play it, here's what we get. Car A comes up to the stop at the stop bar. Okay? Then you say, if there's no stop bar, then just like car B, we stop at the crosswalk. If there's no crosswalk, but there's sidewalks, then we draw an imaginary crosswalk, right? And car C stops at the imaginary crosswalk. Look at us teaching. Not bad, huh? Not bad for a human. All right. And I mean, legitimately, this didn't take that long. It would be about 30 minutes in animation here for these things. Some of them are going to be a little bit more complicated than others, but this will be pretty clear. And I mean, really, we're just doing a proof of concept here. Should be fine, right? So the last one is car D. Car D doesn't have a sidewalk, so we've got to give 1 second pause once we clear out of 630, which is the end of 630 is the end of car C's cycle, right? So that's 1 second pause for 630. So we'll give 1 second then, so it needs to be at 660. Because we start a pause there, right? And then we start working with car D. The first thing we want to do with car D is not actually work with car D. We're going to close car C, and we're going to get then our no sidewalk, no crosswalk, right? This is that one that we just built. It's going to draw an imaginary line across the intersection. Okay. This one needs to be under the translate on this one. It needs to be pinned. So we're going to pin it. We're going to set that for linear so that it won't roll. All right. So this is pinning a frame and pinning a keyframe. So I'm stopping it from rolling out because I don't want it to roll. I want it to stay totally static. Kind of wish somebody would build a function called pin so you could pin a frickin' animation, because some things don't move until later in the scene, and you don't want them to just sit there and kind of for the whole first 20 minutes of the scene while you're waiting for the scene to be setting up. This object is over here kind of doing this number off scene. It's like, it'd be nice to just pin stuff. And I wouldn't have to manually pin stuff. But hey, programmers are not artists, and artists are not programmers, generally speaking. So people don't think of these things, and us artists just roll with it. There's probably actually a pin function, and I just don't know it. Okay. We're going to spend 2 seconds drawing the line now. So we're now at 660, right? So that's 690 and 720. So at this point, we want to be at 720, right? 720 then is where I'm going to bring this line up to 1, right? This works, and then I'm going to actually do the same thing because I don't want this to be... There's probably a function for it, but because it's crooked, because I put it at a slight angle, look at what it does. It draws the line, which illustrates hey, draw a line across there. There you go. Okay. Then we can bring in card D, because this guy just stops. We don't need to do anything else. So card D then can come tootling along at its own happy little pace of, oh my God. But on the same token, let's go on ahead and pin card D down, because if we don't, you know what's going to happen. So take properties, go into the transforms, translations, and again, card D comes in. If we look at card D over here, he's coming in on the blue, so really shouldn't have done that, but that's all right. So it's going to be in that blue translate. So I'm actually not going to take any chances with any of this. I'm just going to add a key in here for all of those guys. And just select all of them. Say linear. Just don't mess with it, right? There's no reason to make it have any problems. All right. Now, card D rolls in, and it takes 3 seconds for card D to make it in here onto the stop line. It's coming in pretty hot, I guess. I'm sorry, I just had a space out moment. Okay, card D comes up on this line pretty hot. So we're going to, he gets 3 seconds to come in. We're starting at 720. 3 seconds from, 3 seconds roll in from 720, 30, 60, 90. 8, 10, yes? At 8, 10, we should make his roll in pace. So. We'll make sure he stops all the way at this line, because that's the point. And again, at this point, then we hard brake for him, because that's funny. At 8:20, we medium accelerate at 8:30, medium brake at 8:40, we light accelerate at 8:50, we light brake, and then at 8:60, we're at neutral. And now we're done. Right? So car A comes up and stops at the stop bar. Car B then comes up and stops at the crosswalk. We illustrate there's no crosswalk, so we make up a crosswalk. Car C comes up and stops at the crosswalk. And then if you can't see anything there and there's no line, then you can draw a line at the actual road, and car D comes up and stops at the line. And there we do it. We have an animation, guys. I think I want some finesse because I feel like the curves of them stopping is pretty much a looks a little bit more dramatic with B and C than it does at A, but it's all right. I love D. He's just coming in hot. He cracked me up, man. It's funny. All right. We have our first animation out the door, and it's cute and it's fluffy and it's bizarre and strange. I swear D is just not coming up on the line. Yep, looks good. Perfect. Okay. Okay, let's do some finesse check on this real quick. Just so funny and ridiculous and so much fun. So there you go. All right. Why do we have an X translate at all? We shouldn't have an X translate. There is no X translate. I must have bumped it somehow. Z translate line at all. There, well, yes, there is. Let's make sure I didn't screw it up. I don't know, it doesn't look bad. Anyway. Technically, okay, whatever. We'll call this the X on this, and we'll come in on the X translate. And what we're going to look for here is we're going to work on the line of this. So, but I'm also going to speed him up a little bit, right? Because this is a consistent speed, and although this is very funny, I think we should be having a slowdown, right? It should be slowing down. He should be coming in hot and coming in and stop, instead of one constant speed and then he stops. It should be a curve. So we're going to look at the X translate on this curve down here. Properties picture. check out the curve. There's no line. Because you need it. Oh, there it is. Okay, so we're going to, all we're going to do on this one is select U, and U, and U, and then say constant. No, I'm going to say TCB. And that's going to give me a curve on this. And I'm going to be able to add a key right here, fork. And we'll be able to really push that. Right, so I can kind of give this a bias of speed. So you know, see what I mean? So that gives him a bias on the speed, and that makes it look a little bit more like he's actually doing his thing, right? Comes zooming in, and right, which just gives a little bit of a bias to the speed. Looks good. Just adding a little finesse, you know what I mean? So we'll add some finesse to all of these guys. That will be, and then we'll call this guy done. First, let's save. This is taking a while, and I don't want to bop it and screw it up. So we know that in the transforms of A, we're going to have the same thing right up here. Going to come up here and we're going to do the same thing. The properties, general, transforms. And in this instance, it's not going to be on, it's going to be on the Z rotate. We've got the same thing. So we're just going to put it right here, and we're going to, we're going to make this wider. Makes it easier to see if it's pretty wide like this. We're making this a little bit more dramatic. Just gonna add a key right there. That's all we're gonna do. That way it gives a curve to what's going on. Same thing. Comes in, right? It gives him just a little bit of finesse, right? And so you're like, but it just gives him a little bit of finesse, like we got brakes going on this thing, you know? What I'm curious about is, what does it look like from here, right? When we rewind this, coming up and yeah. Okay, that's funny. I gotta watch it again. Okay, that's good. That's good. Oh, okay. I'm finding this probably more adorable than it needs to be, but that's all right. I'm enjoying it. That's why animation is fun. That's why animation's the best. That's why I should have been doing animation all my life. But hey, you're dealt the cards you're dealt. And that's the way it goes. All right. Looking at U, we're going to do the same thing. I'm going to take U, I'm going to say TCB, which gives us a little bit of a curve. I'm going to go about here, add me a keyframe, which will just give a nice little curve to it. And that'll fix B car, which is coming in a little weird too. Right? As he looks like he's coming in weird. He used to, but now he should come in going, right? And that makes him look. It's never really worked. This is just way too much fun. And this is a blast, and I'm getting paid for it. How about that, huh? And we'll check car C. And we'll come in on the translate there. We'll look at that translate, same thing. We'll grab it tap in here, set the TCB for constant. And the same thing, we're just going to grab some of this right here and put that key right there. All right, now he's coming in, and we'll see here. Oh man, that's funny. I don't know why I find this so funny. I do. I just found this really funny. And here's the best part about this, right? We want to look at it from car C's point of view. We certainly can, right? You watch it here, and you see what they're saying. They're beep, beep, beep. You can see that we've got to make a fake sort of crosswalk. Stop that. I mean, I know what I'm doing. Kind of cool. I know what I'm doing, All right. Okay, this one's done. Save it. There we go, guys. Hierarchy of stops. For those of you who are wanting to see the full version of this, let's do this. Go ahead and squish the timeline down to the room again so you guys can kind of see what's going on. Right? So we'll rewind this all the way to the top. As illustrated by your local resident driving instructor, car A is going to need to stop here. The stop bar is where we stop the car, right? So car A comes in and he stops at the stop bar. But if there's no stop bar, like here with car B, you stop at the crosswalk. But if there's no crosswalk, but you still see a sidewalk, you have to make a crosswalk up in your head and then stop at it. If there's no sidewalk, then you can draw a line across the front of the intersection. Man, D comes in hot. Look at that. Yep, for the full version, B14. There you go. Check it. Perfect. Look at us doing our job. He's just like coming in like a bat out of hell. That's awesome. All right. This one is out the door. Hierarchy of stops. Look at us. And hierarchy of stops is OOD, OTD, OTD. All right, we've got this list of things that we're doing here. Hierarchy of stops is done. Now all I got to do is just record it, which is kind of more complicated than it looks, but not that hard. Just need to keep OBS running after the show's over, and I bring it up and put it up on this monitor, and then I can record all of these stops, and we're good. I think I want to take, though, from a different angle because it makes D look like he doesn't stop anywhere. So I'm thinking our better angle might be here for this. Let's see. Because I can see where A stops pretty good there. The tree's kind of in the way, but I like the tree. And B stops there. Then we can see very clearly that there's the line, right? So C will come into a stop there. And then that line that way, so D comes to a stop there. I feel like they might be a little hot. Like A comes in, I don't know. B feels like he's a little hot here. Like he looks like he's over the line from this point of view. And so does C, right? So I feel like it's kind of hard to tell because they're so tall and the cars are kind of tall. Man, B comes in like a bad edit, or D comes in like a bad edit. He's like, work. I may have to adjust D a little bit. As much fun as it is. Okay. I'm happy with this animation. This animation works just fine. Right? Okay. So the thing is that there's actually a spot in the Wheat Ridge Drive where I can take the kids around to a stop sign that does not have a stop at the intersection, or it does not have sidewalks. But I don't know if there's a place in the Arvada Drive that does that. And so it's kind of hard when you're at different spots to see where all the stopping points are. But this is called the hierarchy of stops. And it's one of the more complicated pieces that we've got. The next one, of course, is who goes first at a stop sign, right? So at a four-way stop, who's got right of way. That one's really difficult. And so that's the next one we're going to do, because then we can do all the different variations and have different versions of it. So, but I want to first look up the logical progression. Like, what does the state of Colorado want me to teach properly? Because that's going to dictate how this goes, right? Okay, we've got a few minutes. I'm going to go back, and I feel like B is getting a little too hot on this. B and C are getting a little hot on top of their crosswalks, so I'm going to back them off because it does bother me a little. So we're going to check this position right here, which is where C comes to a stop. And I'm actually going to check that position right there, because that's what I really want to, what I'm really looking at here is this. So we're at 540, and we're looking at the Z translate function. So I would have pulled him back just here, to right there. That makes it feel better, right? Right, see how that looks just a little bit better. So we just pulled him back just here, just so that it looks very clearly like that. But you see how B feels like he's way over his line already? Let's go fix B real quick, just to make sure we've got the same problem, right? Nothing weird, just us doing our normal job, right? Just us doing animation, man. Just us doing animation. I'm going to do the same thing. We're going to roll right up onto the frame that he's on there, which is 270. Right? I'm going to back off his X translate just a hair to right there. See how that looks a little bit better? It looks like came to a good solid stop here. Right? And then he does the cute little rocking back and forth thing. And we can still do any of these from the perspective of the vehicle, right? I mean, we can certainly do that too. And just he's coming up on his roll here and accelerates in and he stops with his car at the crosswalk. Right? You get the line across the road there. That looks so cool. All right. I feel like I've adjusted everything. They all feel solid and they all feel good. So messing with it just a little here and a little there just kind of adds the spice to the animation. So it's not a big deal. It adds a little bit of spice to the animation. We're fine. Yeah. Look at us. Look at us being awesome. This is kicking butt, dudes. All right, so we got A comes in, comes to a stop. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do the overhead, and then after the overhead, I'm going to do from the point of view of each car with the overhead still in the upper right-hand corner. So you'll still be able to see everything, and you'll see how it looks. And then you get both views, and then I'll synchronize those so that you've got the view up in the upper corner at the same time. What I'm going to do is going to see how long it takes to render a full version of this animation from the top view. And if it takes like 60 years, I'm going to end up doing it all night. I'm just going to set the machine to do it all night. I think I can set up a rendering queue so that it'll know to do this, then change cameras, then render again, then change cameras, render again. I think I can set up a rendering queue, and if so, just let it run through the night tonight, and it'll have all of these done by tomorrow morning in a nice little, very well rendered package. So that's my battle plan on this one. Still looks really solid to me. Looks like we're doing great here. I love the way this works. And it's extremely illustrative, and I love illustrative things. I mean, like, we need like a cat sitting over in the corner that licks his paws, and you know what I mean? Like, it's just sitting over there licking, and then, you know, the cars kind of drive up. Just give, like, things like that make my day, because then the little video is going to be funny, because everybody's going to be like, oh, look, here's a cat, you know. So, we definitely need a cat. I'm just saying. So, okay. So here we go. We've got ourselves our first official video out of here, which is Hierarchy of Stops. And I love this. This works really well. I probably could put the camera up here that is... It still comes in so hot. Let's fix D. Okay, he's cracking me up, but I also feel like I'm just going to get yelled at from the boss somewhere along the line for D, because D is going way too fast for our kids. He needs to not be going that fast. So I've got a buddy named Queen D, and Queen D is entertainingly funny, and she cracks me up all the time. Definitely a thing. Yeah, let's not do that. A little bit more of an easy drive in here, huh? There we go. Much easier. So I imagine the D car being Queen D and her ridiculous outgoing personality of just awesome. So D, if you're listening to me, or if you happen to be watching this, totally, you're the purple car. Just saying. So coming in hot and ridiculous and stuff like that fits, right? It fits. You know it. I know it. You know it. Anyway. Okay. That should be solid. I'll go back and watch the whole thing. Make sure that, yeah, put a cat in the corner. Give it a camera from its perspective. There we go. Much more reasonable. Okay. So D is solid now. I'm good with that. And we're good. With 1 minute to spare. Save the image. Look at us saving. Look at us doing our job. Now, if I were to set up a render queue, do you know how to do that? I guess I could find out. Oh God, we could have motion blur. If we did motion blur, that'd be so much fun. What would it look like with motion blur? Hang on, guys. We gotta see. Oh, I'm turning on motion blur. Don't think I'm not. Don't think I'm not. Oh my God, look at D. It's like, oh yeah. Oh, two cats. One is George and the other is Dove. That'd be perfect. Man, look at that though. That's gonna be hot, dudes. This is gonna be hot. This animation's gonna rock. So A, B, C, and then D comes squealing in motion blur. They're all going to actually have motion blur, which is cool. But now I need to figure out how to animate this guy. So we'll do that real quick, and then I'm going to go to lunch because I'm proud of myself. I'm going to treat myself to lunch today. I don't know what I'm going to treat myself to lunch for, but I'm going to do it because frankly, I did good today. I'm pretty proud of this. I even have to see my therapist today. I'm going to tell her I did good. Because she's cool. And I like my therapist. She's a food. I got her at 1. So I'll have to leave her about 12:30. So that's okay. That's all right. I dig her, though. She's cool. She's a cool person. She pokes a lot, though. Man, it's not pokes. That's okay. If I were to make an animation on this one, how would it go? I don't think I've ever tried to make an animation out of this particular guy. Render type, movie, start, end. And the name of the movie is .avi. I guess it's going to be .avi. Hierarchy of stops. Perspective. .avi. I'm curious, how long will it take? Quad pizza. Oh, I've really borked my PC because it's rendering, but we're already at frame 24. Premature call to something. It has an error, so I'm not sure what happened, but it's an ABI. So if you don't, uh, if you stop an ABI in the middle, but I mean it's at 40, right? I mean we're it's going at about 1 minute, so 45 frames a minute. As far as render time is really not bad. It's gonna be done by the time I get back from lunch, and provided it's not borked, right? 900 divided by 45. It's going to take 20 minutes to render the whole thing. Shrug. 20 minutes is nothing. I got 20 minutes. So if it takes 20 minutes per camera, it's not going to be hard. However, now I have occupied the processor. So I'm going to go to lunch. I will see you all later, likely tonight. I have a dinner date that I'm doing tonight, so I might be late. The dinner date is with the head of IndieK, so we could end up talking forever. So I might be late. I might not. We'll have to see. So just so you know, could be late tonight. Anyway, all you people, I'll talk to y'all later. And have a good day. Bye-bye. Keep your eyes on the stars.